And in this hackathon, I built a multi-agent fault detection system. So what inspired me is because fault is a constant threat in tropical country, and recently Sri Lanka has faced a very serious fault event. And it got me thinking, like, could AI do better? Okay, so this is the system architect overview. So basically, when you ask from the front end, you go to an orchestrator agent, and then orchestrator agent will call the data agent. The data agent primary responsibility to get data from a custom MCP server. So this custom MCP server has several API endpoint wrapped as a tool. So Sentinel Hub AI is actually the satellite image. Engage data is the ground truth sensor about the shore around United States. And this is a segmentation model which will be a downstream receiver from the satellite image. And then after that, when all the data is prepared, we'll use a fault detection agent to use those data to run a status analysis to provide a big overview reports. Okay, so in this system, we can ask questions like, show me a fault during a historical time, or you can ask about current situations in any area around United States. So we can start sending. So right now, actually, the first step, it will based on the natural language, the location, it will find it will use a tool to find the proper latitude and longitude bounding box for your satellite image, and then it will try to find a satellite image. Also, right now it has find 4 different image, and then once it find one image, it will put into a segmentation model to try to segment the water, and then find the ground truth gauge data for validation to see if that is the actual case. So we have to wait a little bit for that. Yeah. Okay. So once finished, the front end will show the overlay and then RGB and then the water max throughout this time series. And then as you can see, actually, because the cloud will interfere the signal, so that's why I use a gauge data to provide a real ground truth validation. So as you can see in here, the gauge says in September 27, it's actually we have a very high water level. That is true because in these days, actually, hurricane happens in Cedar Key. So actually the fault and then the sea level rise, so cause the water level around the Florida shore rise. So yeah, so this system primarily just wants to help people can quickly respond with the fault by the satellite image and then by the gauge installed on the shore. Yeah. So thank you.